going to start with a certain type of build style. My grandfather and I have perfected when we are building these kinds of planes. It's going to first be the rounded fuselage edge, because on some of the old flight test planes, some of you might know flight test, they do the straight and then straight again. I'm going to be showing you a different way of doing that where it makes it rounded and smooth. I have an example here with the edges going like that, both sides, and then the former on this end has the curved edges, so it keeps its fold angle. I'm going to go through it with you guys on this one. Start by measuring your different angles and the distance you want to have it on each end. So on this example, I'm going to do 4 inches, pencil, mark. So this is going to be the top end of the side fold. Mark on that side. Draw a pencil line. Don't use a knife line, do a pencil line on both marks. And then you can, depending on the size of airplane that you're doing, you can do 1 inch for smaller, or actually no, take that back. You can do whatever size you want depending on the airplane. In this case, I'm going to be doing just the 1 inch. Mark it again on the 1 inch. Inch. And it's all lined up. Draw. Here's where the fun part comes. To take your knife blade and just very gently on those lines so it just cuts the paper and nothing else. You go into the foam just a little bit, but make sure it's not too much. The other side. You see how there's a bit of a cut there on both sides? I am now going to peel the paper back like that. So now it just reveals the foam on the inside. And then before we go on to the next step, just make sure it's got a quick little fold like that. Now we're going to be taking the back, taking it so along this line here, putting that right at the edge of our table, and pulling that down and around the table to get that nice curved edge. You can use your fingers to knead it a little bit. Finger, fold it around your finger so now it's 90 degrees against your finger. Do the same for the other side. Now you can see it's got the nice curve around. On both sides. If it's not the same on both sides, that's fine for now. You just gotta get it, make sure it's around that same angle when you're putting the next pieces on. Now we're gonna do a former. So I'm gonna take this, cut a little bit off the end, about 2 inches. I am not going to draw a line on this because it's not that critical that you get it straight. So now we have this little piece like this. Now you can either do it flat like that or vertical. Doesn't really matter. Set that off to the side for now. Make sure I have tons of room. Also, it's nice to have a garbage can along the side so you can throw your excess bits into it. I'm going to take my razor blade. Don't really have a certain template that you can go around the edge with, but I just eyeball it all around the outside, getting a nice curve. Just think about a blade when you go around the edge, it actually crumples the foam on the edge so that you get that nice rounded surface look. Over there. Now as you can see, it comes to that edge. Got that nice curved surface. So now it goes around the edge and actually keeps it in place. Now you can choose to glue this if you want. I'm going to, just so it stays in place so I can show you guys. Just take a little bit of glue around the outside. I'm going to do this lengthwise. I'm going to do this lengthwise along here. It's horizontal. If you're doing this, make sure you've got it right along the outside edge. Unless you're putting something inside, then you've got to measure the inside before you put it on. While the glue is still hot, you have to push the corner around the outside of that so that it keeps this in line with that edge. That glue is gone. Should be not that warm by now, so you can use your fingers to get it off. Get the excess glue off. There you go. That is a basic edge corner that you can use for a whole bunch of different aircraft. As an example of this is actually a build that I never got to finish of a Pilatus PC-6, but I'm hopefully going to finish this soon. And yeah, it's got kind of that same style. She got the exact same measurements, which is a 1-inch side. And one final thing on this is if it's not completely square, you don't have to quite make it square, because if you're trying to get this out as a outer angle, like on, say, if you're doing a ship with the same style, or an aircraft which has that outer kind of look, you can make sure you don't have to have it necessarily completely square. You can actually even bend it out just slightly if you need to. And that is it for the basic edge of a curved edge instead of a flat edge.